Hey there, guys! Happy New Year! Tonight, I believe, when this video goes up, I'm recording it a bit in advance because I'm on vacation, but I wanted to make a video today that is my top 5 favorite adventures of 2017. Adventures were introduced, they haven't really been changed at all since they've been introduced. Our featured menu has been the same for about 8 months. And I feel like a lot of people lost their excitement for adventures. You know, we were promised a bit more than we got. But there have been so many amazing adventures that have come out for Creativerse, and every Sunday I go and look at some of them. And today I wanted to take a look at 5 of my favorites, and not to say these are the best, they're not in any order on my list either. These are 5 adventures that are just incredible, and it shows really what people can do in this game and are doing in this game, because there is some absolutely unbelievable stuff that people do. And I just wanted to showcase some of the ones, some that maybe didn't get enough love, haven't gotten quite as much love, or have gotten a ton of love and just deserve to be recognized a little bit further. So these are 5 of my favorites. I tried to pick sort of different ones and varied ones, but let's just jump into the list. The first adventure I wanted to give a special shout out is one from Super Dave, and if you guys know Super Dave, you know he is probably one of the best in the business when it comes to making adventures. Really, any one of the, I think, 5 or 6 adventures he has made, Super Dave, could be on this list, but I think this is his shining achievement. This is Buzzard's Gulch, and it is a full-out, I mean, it's just incredible, really. It is a full-out adventure set in the Wild West where you can get into gunfights, you can talk to people, and they actually respond to you and give different answers. There's different endings going on. And it is just unbelievable. And this is probably a bad showcase of it, but it's about an hour long, which is crazy to think about, that this is about an hour long. Like, we're already into some stuff here. This is about an hour long to complete, which is unbelievable. It has this really interesting story, and the mechanics in it are unlike anything I've ever seen. I didn't know they were possible in this game, but apparently they are. Apparently they are. It's absolutely unbelievable. You can get in conversations. There's even a card game you can play with one of the like bartenders. It's amazing, and highly recommend checking it out. This is just the beginning of it. Anyway, maybe I should check if Clem needs help with the horses. Oh, this is the sandstorm. I see. I'll just wait by the fire a little longer. Anyway, yeah, this is The Ghost of Buzzard's Gulch. It is probably the most impressive one I've ever seen in terms of story and talking to people and interacting with stuff, as well as the visuals just being incredible. But anyway, let's check out another one. The second adventure I want to shout out is Delirium Science 1 of 3. I'm not sure if the other ones actually ended up coming to be, but Delirium Science is a really neat adventure, which has a really cool visual. So you can see we're in like a science lab where we're being watched. There's all kinds of things to be watched. It's all sort of made out of bedrock. It's very kind of creepy, and there's numbers on the walls. And I love the setting, but the thing that sets this adventure apart is that it has really amazing puzzles. Sorry. I'm trying to like figure this out. Wait, do I have to stand on it the whole time? Okay. It has really amazing puzzles. That's not really the most amazing of them, but it has some really impressive puzzles that I haven't seen anyone else copy. We're on floor 1 now. So this is one of them in particular, where you have to go through the different teleporters, and they basically run on a timer. You have to walk over, hit the pressure plate, and you can see that starts to count down. And then you have to come through, go through a different teleporter. You have to go and hit this button, and it will open the door if all 3 of your lights are still on. And you can see they're counting down, and the puzzles in this are just absolutely incredible, and I haven't seen anyone do a puzzle quite like this ever in another adventure, and that's why I wanted to shout out Delirium Science. The visual and the whole aspect of it is kind of creepy, kind of has a horror-type vibe, but just the overall detail and creativeness is really interesting. So Delirium Science, really cool if you haven't checked it out. The puzzles, I don't really want to spoil any of the other ones. This is the one that really stood out to me, but it's really great. Delirium Science, 1 of 3. One of my other favorite adventures of the year comes from one of my favorite people of the year, the Zando himself. And if you guys don't know Zando, he started this project a while back, and he told me about it, and I thought, you, sir, are a crazy person, and I didn't think anything would come of it. But he had this idea to replace entire biomes with goo. And he's been doing it, and I think last count he placed something like 1 million blocks of goo or something absurd. He actually has them all kept track of in the spawn of this world. And this is one of about 7 biomes that he's converting. This used to be a mountains biome. You can see the delineation. I think maybe the orange is snow. It's also leaves down here. He only has 3 colors to work with, but it's absolutely incredible. I mean, look at the sheer scale of this. He placed every one of these blocks of goo by hand, and I've actually kept count of how many blocks of each type he's moved, which is, well, quite frank, absolutely absurd. And this is one of like 6 or 7 biomes. He's done an underground cave. You can see in the thing, goo desert, a jungu, a goonion. It's absolutely incredible. You can see the trees here. Even under the water is filled in with goo. The amount of patience, dedication, and time that it would take to do this, not even just collecting the goo, but placing it and everything, is absurd. And it's why I come back here every couple of months just to see the progress he's made. Because it seems like every month or so, you know, there's so much progress that's been made. It's absolutely incredible, which is why I put it on this list. And, yeah, it's absolutely absurd. It's called Goo World. I think it's on the featured page, I do believe. But it is just an absolute testament to human will, I suppose. Anyway, let's check out another one of my favorites of the year. The next adventure I wanted to show you guys is one called Tebstex's Showcase. And it's only been viewed, apparently, 324 times, 59 likes. It's by somebody named Tebstex. I'm not sure if that's man or woman, not that it really matters. But the reason I wanted to show this one, I toured this a long time ago. And it's this really amazing medieval city. It's not very big. You can basically see all of it from this point. It sort of ends just past there. But the reason I wanted to showcase it is, one, it's absolutely incredible. I mean, look at the detail and everything, how it all flows together. It's incredible. But the other thing that I find really interesting is that they've used so many different blocks. Every building, you know, has similarities, and a couple blocks are the same, but almost every building is built of different main materials. And they all look good, and they all fit together. And this is one that I've actually come to numerous times for inspiration, because I think it's absolutely incredible. I mean, look at this church, you know? And some of these designs, I mean, this isn't a super complex room, right? There's only a couple blocks, but the way they've done it, the shapes, is absolutely incredible. And there's so much like that in this world. And then they've connected it all up and done an amazing job with terraforming and pathways. And altogether, it just comes down to being like a really, really incredible build that uses a lot of different blocks. And I just find it's one of the best examples of, I don't know, like making a town that I've ever seen. And I feel like it doesn't get enough love. It's even got, like, the detail of it, it's even got underground, like, sewage. Like, this river goes and it connects up to underground buildings, and it's just incredible. I'm pretty sure this is, like, an elevator that brings stuff up from ships. Yeah, you can see there's, like, a thing down there that hooks up to a dock. It's absolutely incredible, the amount of detail and work that went into this place. And it's just a really cool build, and I wanted to showcase it for you guys. On top of that, there's also this amazing white tower, white castle. What does he call it? Medieval white castle, he calls it. Well, it's like the food place. There's this white castle up here that's absolutely incredible to wander through. I don't want to spoil everything in case you guys do want to come up here and check it out. But there's this white castle that sort of includes a lot of the elements you see down there with the detail, but in this giant castle that sort of overlooks everything. And quite frankly, I just love this this build, this adventure. It's just such a cool medieval village. That's all of it. And obviously the scale of it is very large, but not as large as some of the other ones. And the detail and everything that went into it, it's just incredible. So I wanted to include this one today. Definitely worth checking out and walking through, because these are all detailed on the inside as well. It's very much worth walking through, I think. All right, let's go check out our 5th and last adventure of this little thing I'm doing. Alright, so the last adventure I wanted to showcase for you guys today, I was actually going to include another Super Dave adventure, but I decided, you know what, let's give a different adventure, a different adventure maker sort of a shout out, because all of Super Dave's stuff is well worth checking out. But this is called Forgotten Lands Soul of Fire, which on the surface, to be quite frank, the actual mechanics of the adventure aren't as good as some of the other ones like Buzzard's Gulch or whatnot. But what I find really cool about this adventure is, one, I love the aesthetics of it. It reminds me of kind of like Mortal Kombat in a way. You sort of have almost this tribal sort of... to me, it has like sort of a fighting vibe. Just the way it's built into the mountain and the colors that it is. And it's really kind of neat because there was a little prompt to go to the shop. And when you're actually at the shop, it kind of has RPG elements where you can choose what you want from the shop. So you can get, a piece of armor or, some bombs or some potions. And I think that'll be really cool. It has some really cool mechanics that I think could be used to better adventures in the future, and then you have some stuff you can fight through and whatnot. I think this adventure was out before some of the bigger updates with some of the better mechanics. So I think this could use, quite a bit of work, but I love the aesthetic of it, and I love the sort of RPG-esque elements in it. And there's also a whole story that you can go through, and, there's I think it's your old karate coach, you fighter. I can't quite remember, but there was a whole story to it. But yeah, this one's another one that's really cool. I'm trying not to spoil anything by going to the shop or anything if you do want to check these out yourself. But anyway, that's sort of my, I wouldn't even say favorite 5. I tried to pick 5 that were slightly different from each other, but I wanted to give sort of a year-end 5 adventures I thought were really quite amazing. Only 2 of them are in this, top 8 featured. Echo's house tour is obviously incredible. I would highly recommend checking out most of these on this list, as well as, try browsing through, maybe the bottom of the popular. One thing I do wish is that adventures got a little bit more attention. I would love to be able to sort popular by maybe the last month popular or whatnot, because I feel like finding new adventures is quite tricky because, the new tab can be quite messy at times. Popular, you're looking through the same ones. Featured never gets changed. But anyway, enough about that. I'm going to do a video tomorrow that's sort of my wish list for 2018 in Creativerse, which hopefully you guys are interested in. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and please let me know in the comments if you've tried these adventures and really like them, if you're going to try them, if there's other ones that you think I should have included or maybe I should check out. Please let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear some of your guys' favorites. And subscribe for more Creativerse. Plenty coming in the new year. Have a happy new year. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Ciao!